those people of Pakistan who are actually doing something for our nation, for building our country, and for making it a better place to live in. All we ever hear is things which hurt us, which pain us, living abroad out of Pakistan, where we sit down and think and wish that we could do something to help our country, our nation, to make it better. And tonight we might just have that chance. And tonight I'm here to introduce to you some people who actually are working towards making Pakistan a better country. So thank you for joining us in this really amazing evening of meeting with people who are making the difference. So there is an organization by the name of TCF. TCF stands for the Citizens Foundation. It was a dream that a few friends who got together had, thinking and talking about making their nation better. And of course, when educated people and people who are not that educated sit down and talk about how to build a nation, the first thought that comes to your mind is educate them. Educate the children who are going to be our future. And that is exactly what these friends sat down and thought about. It has been established for a few years, I believe, TCF, and they thought we'll make a few schools. The dream of few schools turned into a reality of 1,000 schools at the moment. What an achievement. And this achievement has only been possible because of people like you, me, and them. People who have supported them. People who have come up and said, we want a better nation. We want an educated nation. And we want a nation with children who are educated. Living over here, we take it for granted. We don't even think twice. We know our children are going to go to school. If they don't, we as parents get fined, so we send them anyway. Back home in Pakistan, that is not a concept. That is not something that everybody takes for granted. And do we not have a responsibility to make sure that our nation, our children, also get the education that we give our children? Are they really that different from our children? If we have any feelings, and all I ever hear from people over here is, oh, talk about back home, talk about the bad things happening there. So tonight, let's just talk about, and let's just think about what we can do for the people who are doing something and how we might support them. With us tonight, we have the General Manager, Isfandiar, who has joined us from Pakistan. He is based in Karachi at their head offices, and he is the Outcomes General Manager for TCF. I shall be saying TCF because carrying on saying the Citizens Foundation is a bit long, might take a couple of seconds longer. So let's cut those short. So TCF, again, an organization that is helping children get an education in Pakistan. It is actually meant for children from underprivileged families get an education. It is an education that they're getting at a private school and not at an underprivileged school either. The schools are of high quality. They're giving high quality education to the children, the kind of education we would want our children to have. And that is an amazing thing to do, to be able to give those children from underprivileged backgrounds who actually would never dream of getting an education like that. We are here at TV Apex Studio. Let me just mention this first before we move on. This is owned and run by Dr. Sohail Chirtai, who unfortunately is unable to be with us tonight because of an ailment in his family. His mother's been taken unwell, so he's had to fly off to Pakistan. So could I just ask you all to maybe offer a small prayer for her health, if you would. Also amongst us we have Dr. Naeem and Amti, a couple who has worked together to bring all of us here tonight and to introduce Esfandiar and his team. And I would now like to just quickly ask Dr. Naeem and Amti, and maybe if she would like to bring her team. Amti runs a designer boutique in Ilford Lane. And mashallah, she's doing really well. We all support her, and I always go for her dresses, so please do visit her as well. I thought I'd throw that in. But mainly what Amti has done, and Dr. Naeem, they've not kept their wealth to themselves. They've not just started this work and just thought, oh yeah, we're making millions, let's just keep it. No, they've shared it with me. They will. Oh no, sorry, actually, they're sharing it with all the children in Pakistan. They're supporting a school. They are sponsoring a school which is run by the Citizens Foundation. And how amazing that somebody should want to share from their wealth to help the children back home, all the children that we always think of and say, oh, the poor sods. They're not poor sods, they're our children. So a big hand for Amti and Dr. Naeem. I would like to ask them to come here and just say a few words, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We all feel ourselves in a privileged position to be in this country. Most of us have been educated, the first generation immigrants in Pakistan. And when you have achieved something, a premium, a specialized position and a privileged position in another country, you feel that your own original country, like Pakistan, has contributed towards your development. And when you have achieved something new in another country, you feel in your heart that you owe something to your original country. And if you look at Pakistan with all its problems, education is the only thing which can change the ills of the Pakistan. These politicians will not be able to change. If we had educated Pakistans in the last 50 years, you would see it would have been a different Pakistan by now. How we got involved is an interesting story. Dr. Suhail Chugtai, who is the TV Apex chair, very good close family friend, and we used to think to have some sort of an internet teaching facility to link with the school in Pakistan. We were planning to hire a private school teachers from here who would deliver a high quality education to the children in Pakistan via internet. So Amti was given a task to go to Lahore and pick up a school which we wanted to attach to Brentwood Primary School, Brentwood Private School here in Essex. She went there, she happened to meet TCF, we never knew that. And that's how we thought, instead of finding a new school, they already have a system established there. And then that's how we got started. And since she started her business, she's sponsoring a whole school, an orphan school. It's about sort of 100 students, something, 100? 185. So we all have been doing this in our personal capacity, and I'm sure a lot of you do that as well. You possibly have friends or other people who you're paying individually to good education, which we have done as well. But this is a much bigger scale. Instead of educating one child, 2 children, 3 children, this is 185 children. We could never dream that we could afford that. And thanks to the good tax laws in this country, because TCF is a registered charity, you save 40% on your contribution, or 20%, the charity claims, and you save 20% from your contribution. So basically, just to give you, obviously the TCF will tell you detail, that's how we got involved. And since Mr. Aswanar is here, we thought this is an opportunity to introduce him to a bigger audience who are more sympathetic, who are of Pakistan origin. We had a lot of friends from India and other countries origin, but we thought it's a very specialized gathering with a Pakistani background, who have a heart, a sympathy, a feeling, an attachment to Pakistan. And that's why we are here to listen to that. So I will not take too much of time, and I will ask Amti to say a few words before we let you do the presentation from Mr. Aswan.
Assalamu everyone. I think I need to, I'm just missing Dr. Sahil here because I know those days when we were used to get together in my place in the evenings and we were used to talk about this, that we're going to start a charity one day. And we were used to get together every, once a week actually. And then somehow I went to Pakistan and an opportunity came up to open a business here. Suhail Bhai said, well, if you are going, go and visit a school. So I was introduced actually to a guy named Ehsan who works for TCF and completely changed my life. It's going to that school and visiting and sitting there. I think that was the most humbling experience I've ever had. And I rang him afterward, but he doesn't know. I had this jewelry box with me, which usually I wear, and so I rang him afterward. I said, whatever I have is yours. But I came back, and that time we were just planning to open the business up. And I just decided, I said, whenever I have an opportunity, I'll work for TCF. Because sitting in that school and seeing those kids developed into something for which we all every day when we send our kids to school, we want that. And those kids, we have no opportunity there. It's just an amazing thing to see. So I came back and I started promoting it because this guy has an effect on people. He just works for TCF and he's an amazing person. So I started talking to people and started telling them about TCF, but I think it makes a little difference when you are in the school and see those kids yourself. It really has an effect on you. So I was used to go and tell them, please, ek bachche ka paisa de dein, it's like this much money, 86 pounds and this and that. So very few people will get affected and I'll go back to Ehsan and I'll say, kyun asar nahi ho raha? Ki main unko bata rahi hu. But then shukar Allah ka ki within few months of my business, I just said to him, I said, you know, we're doing whatever, even if we don't make profit, but from my pay, I will pay for the whole school. And that's as simple as that, it started. And we then involved TCF, the team in UK, and they were so, Shazia was just so helpful. She worked everything out for me, and we just started the journey from there. So the imagination of 185 children waking up in the morning and going to that school brings such a big smile every morning when I wake up. And that is an amazing feeling. Thank you very much for coming here, because I know everybody has traveled from far and really humbled. Thank you. Thank you, Natasha. She has put such big effort into it, and we're missing Suhail Bhai again, and Zaid, of course.
Thank you, Dr. Naim, and thank you, Auntie, for those wonderful words and emotional and moving words were used here. Oh gosh, okay, so firstly I would like to introduce the team that is over here tonight, and then I will ask Isfandiar to say a few words while the rest of us can go and sit down. I'm sure Isfandiar would want to say a few things. So we have with us, ladies and gentlemen, please a big round of applause for Isfandiar, the General Manager for Learning Outcomes. I would also like to ask members of his team who are with us, Shazia, who is Director Resources. Would you like to stand up and show your face? And Atif, who is one of the trustees over here in the UK. So trustees means it is a trust, it is registered over here, so you can listen to them without worrying about whether you're listening to anything legit or not. It is totally legit. Isfandiar for you.
Thank you very much, Natasha, for the introduction. I'll just start with a small video, and then we'll just have a short presentation after that. my son.
Education. The UN says it's a basic human right, but too often, it's one that many are denied.
Almost 4 million children are born in Pakistan every year. Almost half of these children never see the face of a school. Children on the streets are multiplying in high numbers, going directionless into activities like drugs, beggary, terrorism. This is like a time bomb. Pakistan is sitting on a time bomb.
To help defuse this threat, in 1996, some concerned Pakistanis started the Citizens Foundation, or TCF. It's achieved remarkable success.
The areas we operate in are areas where the fathers and the mothers and even their elders have never seen the face of a school. Their daughters or their sons are going to the school for the first time.
When they started, the founders of TCF understood that the biggest obstacle to education is the poor quality of government-run schools.
Corruption is rampant. There are teachers who do not attend schools, classrooms which are in disarray, and there are 65% of the schools without toilet facilities for girls or boys.
ये ऐसा है कि आप ये जो पानी देख रहे हो ये बाहर का पानी है और ये हमारे यहाँ पर बाथरूम्स बने हुए हैं जिस पे बच्चों को इनके ऊपर से चढ़ के जाना पड़ता है.
The dropout rate is very high. Hardly 20% of the children in the primary enrollment ever see the face of a secondary school.
So TCF decided to create an alternative by opening a chain of private schools in urban slums and rural areas. They took on the obstacles that kept children out of school, such as their parents' reluctance to send them long distances.
We plant our schools right in the heart of the community so that both boys and girls can walk to school with ease.
And many parents would not permit their daughters to be taught by men.
Citizens Foundation from the word go had decided that we would be running a co-education system. We wanted a gender balance, and to achieve that, we envisaged that we would only employ a female faculty.
Akila Kasim is one of 250 TCF students who have come back as teachers.
मेरा नाम अकीला कासिम है और मैं मशक कॉलोनी के स्कूल MC1 में बतौर प्राइमरी टीचर पढ़ा रही हूँ. 1 and 2 जब मैं TCF स्कूल जाना शुरू हुई तब मेरी उम्र 7 साल थी. सबसे पहले ये कि मेरे ख़ानदान में कोई पढ़ा लिखा नहीं था. अब जब हम दोनों को मिला
TCF has got a very revolutionary system. The employment of the teachers is all on merits. Every teacher is taken through a 100-hour pre-service training program.
To ensure quality, TCF limits class size to 30 and closely monitors its own performance. And by limiting tuition to what families can afford, TCF taps into pent-up demand.
So let me tell you here that in our schools, we find that there is almost in every school there's a waiting list of children trying to get admission.
TCF has now built 910 schools in Pakistan. It's serving more than 126,000 girls and boys.
More than 6,000 children have graduated from our high schools. Almost 72% of these children are now in colleges.
And today, TCF is educating adults too.
50.3.
Most importantly, TCF is changing attitudes by broadening support for education.
तालीम हासिल करने के बाद मेरी ज़िंदगी में बहुत बड़ी तब्दीली आई. अगर तालीम मेरे पास ना होती तो हो सकता था कि मैं अपने मम्मी की तरह जो है वो झाड़ू पोछी कर रही होती या घर बैठे ऐसे कोई ना कोई हुनर कर रही होती.
पढ़ने से बच्चों में बहुत फ़र्क आया. अनपढ़ बच्चों को और पढ़े हुए बच्चों को देखते बहुत फ़र्क आता है. मेरी अकेला पढ़ी TCF में तो फिर मैं तीनों को बिठाई अनपढ़ बच्चों को और पढ़े हुए बच्चों को देखते बहुत फर्क है। इसका अब्बू भी ऐसे बोलता है जब हम 2 रोटी कम खाएंगे भले पढ़े।
If you need to change the destiny of a country, you need to fulfill the aspirations of every child. We have got a blueprint. This has worked for most of the villages and slums of Pakistan. Now the time is ripe. We want to share it with anybody who's sincerely interested to take on this.
A couple of years back, I was traveling from Lahore to Karachi, and I saw this gentleman. He was sitting next to me, and he was wearing his wedding ring in his index finger. I was a bit surprised and couldn't help but asking him, and I said that, Mister, you're wearing your wedding ring in the wrong finger. And he said, yeah, because I married the wrong woman. Well, I don't know whether he married the wrong woman or not. You certainly are at the right place and at the right time. Thank you very much again for being here and for supporting TCF. Looming crisis. I'll just take you with some figures, some numbers about the education emergency in Pakistan. And I'm sure आप में से कई लोगों को idea होगा, मतलब Pakistan's GDP itself is very small, and from that chunk we spend approximately 2.1% on education. And उस पे भी मैं कहूँगा सितम ज़रीफ़ी है कि we have 7,000 ghost schools only in Sindh province. Does anyone know what ghost schools are? Yes, absolutely. So they only exist on paper. If you go on the ground, there is no school, there are no teachers, there are no children. But somehow teachers, they are drawing salaries and probably doing some other job or doing their own business somewhere else. Every 10th child in the world, every 10th child in the world who does not go to school is a Pakistani. It's huge, it's a big number, and which definitely needs attention, not only from the private sector, it also needs attention from the government. 5.5 million children are out of school, and Pakistan has the second highest number of children who do not go to school after Nigeria. Genesis of TCF. I love the story. I read a couple of years back in Reader's Digest about this balloon salesperson in New York. He used to sell balloons, and he used to alternate the colors. So, in order to attract business. So whenever his business used to slow down, he would release few balloons. So first he used to release the red one, then the white one, and later a yellow one. So after some time, there was a African-American boy, small boy. He went up to him, tugged his coat sleeves, looked the balloon salesperson in his eyes, and asked a penetrating question. He said, "Mister, if you would release a black balloon, would it go up?" The balloon salesperson looked at the boy with some compassion, wisdom, and understanding, and he said, "Son, it is not the color of the balloon which makes it go up. It is what is inside those balloons which makes them go up." Yes, the balloon salesperson was right, and he was right on dot that it is not the color of our skin, it is not the place of our birth which determines that how high we will go in life. It is the size of our hope and the kind of education which we get determines that how high we will go in our life. And this was the philosophy of the founding fathers of TCF back in 1995, when the small group of friends decided that if we are not part of the solution, then definitely we are part of the problem. So they built 5 schools from their own money with 800 children. So, and with the vision that they'll open 1,000 school units in 15 to 16 years. Well, it prolonged for another couple of years, but this year, 2014, Alhamdulillah, we managed to reach this benchmark, and April 2014, we started with 1,000 school units. As I mentioned, the journey was started with 5 schools, and it's still on after 1,000 schools because the education emergency is still there. Population size is so huge that I don't think one organization alone can make a whole difference. These are some of the schools which we have in different cities and different towns all across Pakistan. ये वाली जो बिल्डिंग है, ये 2005 में ज़िलज़ला आया था, उसके बाद earthquake resistant structures उन इलाकों में बनाने की ज़रूरत पड़ी थी. So again, this is again with the support of people like you. Now we are standing here with 1,000 schools, and inshallah by 2016 we are hoping to add another 150 units. वो अहमद फराज का एक शेर मुझे बड़ा पसंद है. शिकवाए ज़ुल्मते शब से तो कहीं बेहतर था, अपने हिस्से की कोई शम्मा जलाते जाते. तो बस अपने हिस्से की शम्में जलाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. शिकवा कोशिश करेंगे कि कम से कम करें और रोशनी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. Geographic इसमें अगर spread देखें तो मतलब we are present in all 4 provinces and 100 towns and cities and 55 districts. तकरीबन 1/3 districts में all across Pakistan we are already present. I'll just shed a little light on the model of TCF, how it exactly works. Our basic principle or philosophy is to take the children off the street and put them back into schools. So I'll discuss each one of them in little detail. I won't take much of your time. जो एक सबसे पहला जो एक वो था when we started off was no child would be returned back just because he cannot afford it. Though we charge tuition fee, but it is as low as 10 cents and as high as $3.5 a month. So, and that is again there is a philosophy behind it, because we didn't want that child should feel that he's getting free education. So that dignity should remain. And number 2, no matter how small amount parents are contributing, it somehow brings in commitment from the family. अगर मैं 10 रुपए भी दे रहा हूँ तो मेरी commitment automatically जो है वो हो जाती है कि I'm paying for it. It's not free. So that is the whole philosophy behind it, and Alhamdulillah that has worked out really well for us. दूसरा मतलब 3 areas हैं, अगर उसको आप simple उसमें divide करें. quality of education, access, and cost. These are the three main pillars which have made TCF what it is now. Access के उस पे मैं बात ये करूँ कि I was reading a research some time back that हर 500 meter, every 500 meters when the school is further away from the community, 20% enrollment drops, 20%, and especially females because they can't travel that much. So what we have tried to do is that we've opened all the schools in the heart of the community and within 1 kilometer's radius so that children can easily walk towards and come back easily. All our buildings, all our schools are purpose-built schools, and we have again cluster strategy where in every community we open 3 primary schools and 2 secondary schools. The primary they become the feeder for the secondary section. As I mentioned earlier, ये might not sound something out of this world के fully functional toilets और running water जो है मतलब नहीं कोई बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है, but है काफ़ी बड़ी चीज़ है. I was myself surprised to know that female enrollment drops if separate toilets and running water is not available for them. So, and that is one of the biggest failures of most of the government schools because they don't have such facilities in most of their schools. Boundary walls नहीं है, running. और ये मैं किसी का सुना हुआ नहीं बता रहा हूँ. I have personally visited such schools in Sindh, in Punjab, in KPK, and I've seen those schools how they've been working. अगर quality wise, just to give you an idea, Punjab has highest or best quality within Pakistan. Then comes KPK, third is Sindh, and then fourth is Balochistan. So this is how it ranks. And all of our schools are purpose-built schools, so they have proper classrooms as per UNICEF standard. And we have we don't enroll more than 30 children in one class, so that's the maximum. You would have seen in the video also that we don't overcrowd. Whatever the UNICEF's specification is, we follow normally that. And then we have art library and science labs and computer labs. And again, all our secondary schools, they have all those facilities which are required for any decent school. So this is not a poor school for poor children. It's a decent private school for underprivileged communities. जेंडर इक्वालिटी की जहाँ तक बात है, इसमें हम लोगों ने पूरी कोशिश की है कि मेंटेन 50-50 gender equality as compared to the national averages, which is much lower. The children who are out of school, I think 2/3 between them are females. It's a very high number. We have 100% female faculty. We have 7,700 principals and teachers who are working with us, and they go through rigorous training every year, almost 100 hours of training for each teacher, which is mandatory for them. So we have pre-service training for them, we have in-service training, then we have staff development days, we have principals academy. So all these trainings, they add a lot towards the quality of education. And very important, we provide door-to-door pick and drop facility to all our female faculty. And this reduces absenteeism to a lot. And again, government schools where children don't show up because teachers don't show up. So we made sure that our teachers are there in the schools. Well, the roots of education are may look bitter, but the fruits are beautiful. All of this quality education is only possible because we have a strong monitoring and support system. Just to give you an idea, the TCF is divided into 4 regions. So each region has a regional manager, and then each regional manager has 8 to 10 area managers and area assistant education manager. And then each area has 25 to 30 schools under them. So these area managers and assistant education managers, they support the school academically as well as from the admin side. And then we have developed books. And one thing which is worth mentioning is that book on social studies, Pakistan studies. I don't want to beat our own drums, but I sincerely and honestly believe that we have developed one of the best books ever produced on social studies in Pakistan. And if you, thank you very much. And if you ever want to have a look at them, I'll request Shazia. This is Shazia. So she'll be more than happy to show it to you. There are 2 types of educations. One that teaches us how to make our living, and the other education is about how to live. These programs are focused on how to live. We believe that yes, how to make your living is important, but I think it is equally important that how one should live to the fullest in his or her life. So these mentorship programs have been doing wonders. Just to give you a little idea about one of our program, which is called Rubber. It is again approximately 2,900 volunteers. It is again one of the biggest structured volunteer program which has been run by any educational institute in Pakistan. And if I just share the crux of it, that Rubber program talks about that your thinking is very important. So whatever you think, eventually it gets translated into your action. Your actions, they determine your habits. Your habits, they determine your character. And your character determines your future, your destination. So it is very important that what is coming into your mind, you should be very careful. As computer folks say, garbage in, garbage out. You put the good stuff in, you get the good stuff out. You put the bad stuff in, you get the bad stuff out. So it's the same basic principle. I love the story about this old man on high. He was living on a high mountain in Rome, Italy. And the legend goes that this old man could answer any question anyone would ask him. So there were 2 young boys who thought they could fool the old man. So they got hold of a small bird and went to the old man and asked him that whether the bird was dead or alive. So without any moment's hesitation, the old man said, "Son, if I tell you that the bird is dead, you will open your hand and it will fly. And if I tell you that the bird is alive, you will crush him to death." He said, "You see, son, in your hands you hold the power of life and death." And that is very much true that we hold the seeds of greatness or failures in our hands. And that is what we also try to teach through these programs, that instead of reacting, we should respond towards situations. like if you go to the doctor, and I'm sure there are quite a few doctors sitting here, so they would probably understand it better. That if you go to a doctor and you tell him that I have a pain in my stomach, and he gives you medicine, and next day when you come back, you say, doctor, my pain is still there, and now I have 4 pimples on my face. So, oh, the medicine is reacting. He gives you another medicine. Next day when you go back and say that pain is gone and my pimples are improving. Oh, good, medicine is responding. And this is what happens in life as well, that you cannot probably have tailor-made situations in life, but you can have tailor-made responses. So instead of reacting, if you respond, your life would be much easier, and this world would probably be more beautiful. These are some of the pictures about these volunteer programs. Some closing ceremonies and some classroom sessions. We are also running a community development unit where again this one program which is called Agahi, which is adult literacy. इसका एक बड़ी ही खूबसूरत चीज़ है इसकी कि वो ख़वातीन, and ये सिर्फ फीमेल्स के लिए है, so माज़रत मर्तज़रा के साथ, because these females most of the time they're very much involved in their children's education. So we have opened this, we're running this program where 28,000 females so far have graduated. It's a 3-month program which is mainly about basic numeracy and literacy. और बहुत खुशी होती है जब एक औरत 50 साल के बाद जो है वो अपने बच्चे की दवाई की एक्सपायरी पढ़ सकती है, या बगैर किसी से पूछे बस कौन सी जानी है घर पे वो जा सकती है. तो और कई ख़वातीन से मिलके बहुत दिल से वो होता है कि सीखने के लिए जो है शायद कोई उम्र नहीं होती है. मैं एक किताब पढ़ा था जिसमें एक साहब अमेरिका में अपना जिक्र कर रहे थे कि वो एक टैक्सी ड्राइवर से मिले थे. तो टैक्सी ड्राइवर जो था वो PhD कर रहा था और उसकी बीवी जो है वो MPhil कर रही थी. तो उसने कहा तुम क्या अभी यहाँ पे क्यों आए हो, किस तरह से आया? तो उसने कहा कि मैं एजुकेशन के उससे जो है वो मेरा हमेशा से ख्वाब था कि मैं अमेरिका में आके करूँ पढ़ाई. और जब मैं आया था तो बहुत मेरे पास कुछ पैसे नहीं थे और मैंने हर तरह की और जॉब्स की हैं और उसके बाद जाके मैं अब इस मकाम पे आया. और मेरे बच्चे भी हैं माशाल्लाह, बहुत मेरे साथ सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. और मैं वापस नाइजीरिया जाऊंगा और अपने गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में ऑलरेडी मेरा उनसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया, मैं उनके लिए काम करूँगा. तो उसने पूछा कि तुम्हें शौक कैसे हुआ? कहता जब मैं 5 साल का था तो मैं होमवर्क लेके पहली दफ़ा घर आया और मुझे जब ज़रूरत पड़ी मदद की तो मैंने अपने माँ बाप से कहा कि आप मेरी मदद करें. कहता है कि उस दिन मुझे पहली बार पता चला कि मेरे माँ बाप अनपढ़ हैं, पढ़ नहीं सकते. और कहता है कि जो तकलीफ़ और जो मायूसी मैंने अपने माँ बाप के आंखों में उस दिन देखी, कहता है मैंने 5 साल की उम्र में उस वक्त मैंने ये तय किया कि मैं पढ़ाई करूँगा और कम से कम ये चीज़ अपने बच्चों के साथ नहीं होने दूँगा. ये चीज़ मेरे ख्याल से आगाही में भी बहुत ज़्यादा आए दिन, क्योंकि बाज़ दफ़ा बच्चे उल्टी किताबें पकड़ के बैठे होते हैं माँ बाप के साथ और उनको नहीं पता होता कि वो पढ़ रहे हैं कि नहीं. उन्होंने बस क्योंकि प्रिंसिपल ने कहा था या टीचर ने कहा था कि पढ़ना है तो वो बैठे हुए हैं, लेकिन शायद पढ़ नहीं रहे. तो this program has done wonders for us, and we feel that in coming years we'll inshallah further expand it and probably do some pilots where we probably, right now they're only doing Urdu and basic numeracy, so we might introduce English as well and see that how it goes. Clean drinking water is another project which we've been doing, where so far we have introduced it in 6 different communities, where we have installed water plants there. And again, we put this on only those areas where there's shortage of water or the quality of water is not good. Professional management, I'll just show you the structure of TCF. We have President CEO who directly reports into the board. Board has a chairman. And then under CEO, there are 3 main departments which are working under him. One is inputs department, which has supply chain, marketing, IT, resource mobilization department. Then there is operations, जिसमें हमारे जितने भी schools के जितने भी operations हैं वो सारे उनके ambit में आते हैं. And then we have outcomes, which is again which has education, strategy department, volunteer and alumni, and community development unit. We have been leveraging on the technology bit, and all of our systems, they are very much accompanied by a strong IT environment. So SMS school management system है हमारा, learning management system अभी हम लोगों ने recently introduce किया है, donor management system and fleet management system. So ये सारे systems हैं, ये इसके साथ साथ हम लोगों ने this was an application which was developed some time back, especially donors जिनके अपने schools चल रहे हैं. So उनकी development के लिए जो है live अगर they want to know what is happening as far as the construction is going, so they can see it through that application. So in a snapshot, if I talk about TCF, we have 1,000 school units, 7,700 teachers, 11,500 employees, 145,000 children who are studying as of now, 100 plus towns and cities, 28,000 adult literacy graduates, 2,900 driver volunteers, and 3,000 plus summer camp volunteers. ये कुछ बच्चे हैं हमारे who have like Nadeem is hopefully inshallah this year he'll graduate from IBA. He's a TCF student. Janzeb just got into chemical engineering. He's studying in Tiki, one of the most prestigious engineering universities of Pakistan. Anam Fatima, she is working now, mashallah. She has done her graduation. So Anam जो है ये Harvard भी summer उसके लिए अपनी गई थी माशाल्लाह. And Zakia again she's studying medicine. ये कुछ हमारे मुस्तकबिल के मेहमान, and inshallah this number will further grow. These are some of the awards which we have earned in the past few years. I'll just mention Raymond Magsaysay Award. ये अभी इसी साल हमें मिला है. Raymond Magsaysay is equivalent एशिया का जो है Nobel Prize कहा जाता है इसको. And we are the first organization in Pakistan who has received it. Individuals को मिला है, but very few organizations in Asia who have received it so far. हमारे अभी क्योंकि size has grown to such big number that we continuously are in need of donations to हमारे operating expenses जो हैं वो. So right now it is approximately $20 million for this year. And again, quality people for the right place is again a challenge, but we again somehow manage it. And our focus has been on improving the quality of education. Long term में जो है वो हम we are working on endowment fund where we can have a self-sustainable model for the schools. If people who would be interested in the endowment, they're more than welcome to do so. A lot of people ask about next because when you started, you had a vision of 1,000 schools. So what is next in your mind? Right now, there are 145,000 children who are studying. Our next goal is 1 million children, inshallah. Thank you very much. But we don't know how. Abhi, kyunke there are, we probably not follow the same model which we have been following because this takes a lot of time and a lot of resources are required. So probably ये 1300-1400 पे रुक जाएगा जब हमारा clusters सारे complete हो जाएंगे. There is one project which is called TCF in a box. TCF in a box is basically there are low-fee private schools all over Pakistan. There are schools which charge $2, $3 a month from the children, and there are teachers who are paid $12, $15, $20 a month salary. So you can very well imagine that a person who's getting $20, quality of the teachers is not there. They don't receive any sort of trainings. Most of the principals have not gone through any training. They don't know the administrative or HR side of running the schools. So we are doing a pilot with 80 schools where we are providing our books. We're training the teachers, we're training their principals, and doing monitoring and evaluation for those schools. But it is just a pilot. So if, again, it gets approved by the board, probably this might be TCF next, and we might be helping low-fee private schools. There are approximately 55,000 low-fee private schools right now. Technology-based education, LMS, I had mentioned it earlier as well. This is again in feasibility stage. We are working on it. We are just seeing इसके through क्या-क्या चीजें हो सकती हैं. But अभी बहुत ही infancy stage के ऊपर है ये. Teacher training service, again we have just completed the feasibility. It has not been yet presented to the board. But again over here, if we plan train 100,000 teachers or 80,000 teachers, they might eventually have an impact on 1 million children. Education through masses, this is again another feasibility where we have been working on radio education. And the feasibility has just been approved by the board. So we might do a pilot through radio. And we'll see that just like Agahi, it would be again more of a supplementary thing for the teacher, that there will be a teacher in the class and he would be supported through radio. But again, it is in its very early stage. And then there is public-private partnership, where we might have partnership with the government and we might assist government schools. We have given a couple of proposals to provincial governments, but we haven't heard anything yet from them. And thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
So it puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Finding out that every 10th child who does not go to school in the world, every 10th child who does not go to school in this world is living in Pakistan, is one of our children. हर 10वां बच्चा जो स्कूल नहीं जाता वो पाकिस्तान में है. अफसोस, इस कदर अफसोस हुआ मुझे ये बात सुन के. It's just touched my heart. It's just so sad, unbelievable. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, a big round of applause for a man who's actually helping to educate, who's part of a team that's educating 145,000 children in Pakistan, Isfandia. Thank you very much, and I'm so honored to be with you in the same room and you giving that presentation. Absolutely touched my heart. Thank you very much. So by any means that we can, let's pledge to support them. Any means, बात करके, लोगों को बता के, इस बात को आगे बढ़ा के, कुछ को बोल के, खुद सोच के, हम लोग पैसे निकालते हैं, हम भी सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, हम लोगों को कह सकते हैं. So to do that, अभी शाम बाकी है दोस्तों. अभी शाम में हमें शाजिया, who's a resource director, आके अभी कुछ हमें figures बताएंगी. थोड़ा सा मैं तो काश मैं भी स्कूल चली जाती, पढ़ लेती तो मुझे numbers समझ आ जाते. I'm really bad with numbers. So absolutely you will be doing that part of the presentation, please Shazia. But before that, let me just tell you, we have a couple of really good singers. So stay, because after all this education, we'll have some entertainment, and do stay for that. We have a couple of really wonderful artists with us, and before that also, I'll be making an announcement, or I'll be asking somebody to come and make an announcement. So first, here's the mathematical bit, and here's Shazia for you.
Assalamu alaikum all. It's a bit high for me. I won't take too much of your time because I'm sure everybody wants to go home after listening to the music. But just to give you an idea, it costs as little as £6 to educate a child for a month. Now just think about your breakfast, what you have in the morning, a coffee, cappuccino or a croissant. £6 is absolutely nothing. If you want to take that further, you can educate a child for a year, and that's £72. Again, not a lot of money. But then to educate a child for the whole 11 years, that's their whole education up to metric, it's £800. Again, just think of one child, 11 years, their whole education is done in primary school. And then, of course, we have other things as well, such as supporting a school. It's not too much. I mean, it sounds like a huge amount, but if you think about 180 students, it's £10,800. Now, if you're a UK taxpayer, that's broken down to 8,640. So say, for example, there's 20 people who pledge £432, then you've supported a school, an orphan school. And as Isfandia explained, an orphan school is one which has been built by a build donor, but they can no longer support their school. So we've termed that as an orphan school. So, you know, even if you mention it to a few of your friends, 10, 20 of your friends, even if it's £100 or whatever, £6, it's amazing. You can help some of those kids off the streets and into schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Shazia. So basically what Shazia was saying, I think Auntie's here to clarify it a bit. Please go ahead.
I just wanted to add something. It's not easy to support a school. It's about £700. I could not imagine when I started. 720 is telling me. I literally, how I made this, I'm a woman who really get involved in all these things. I stopped buying just designer shoes and bags. I decided not to buy any more designer shoes and bags, and that was it. I stopped buying. So things, then I told my daughter, I mean 3 of you, I said, I support one school. Naeem, Mahan, and probably Isra can support another school. £200 इकट्ठे मिलकर डाल दें, 200 बच्चे का 1 महीने का खर्चा. Such an amazing thing. So अपने friends को रखा करें. Social part, हम कितनी parties करते हैं. You know, so much goes on. There's so much fun in the world we do. But actually, just because we're not seeing those kids in front of our eyes, we just forget and we sleep. So please think about those kids and join together in this amazing process. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie. It is an emotional topic. It is, I think, it's really touched my heart, and it's touched yours as well, I'm sure. Anyway, well, that's the presentation for tonight. आप लोग आए, आप लोगों ने सुना. अब ये आप सब पे, हम सब पे है कि हम कुछ करें, इस बात को आगे बढ़ाएं. मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि आप इसी वक्त बैठ जाएं और आप लोग पैसे निकालें और कुछ करें. But do think about it seriously. On your seats, most of you will have literature packages like these. You're welcome to take them back with you and have a read, और इसको देखें. इसमें information है about TCF, and what you can do to support and how you can support. And you don't have to. You can get a group together and you can get friends together and, you know, put a gun to their head and say, give me money, and do it, you know, anything. This is for our children. So really, thank you very much for coming. Is there anything else you want to say? Is there any questions anybody would want to ask Isfandiar, because he is here still. And Isfandiar, if you could come over here, maybe answer one or two questions, that would be great.
Yeah, from this.
Ajay.
जिस चीज से डर रहा था वही
That was a very simple one. Nothing really challenging you or anything. Do you have any provision for the disabled students?
No, not as of now. We do have children who have some challenges or who are special children, but we don't have specially made any curriculum for that. You see, मसला ये है कि इतना कुछ है पाकिस्तान में करने के लिए, इतना ज़्यादा है कि अगर हम बहुत सारी अलग-अलग जगहों पे चले जाएं तो बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है कि वो जो एक काम कर रहे हैं वो भी शायद सही तरह से ना। और I personally think कि जो TCF का एक सक्सेस का एक जो एक एरिया जो मैं कहूँगा कि जिसको क्रेडिट जाता है वो ये कि वो फोकस बस के जो काम आता है बस वो किए जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमें एडवोकेसी के लिए, हेल्थ केयर के लिए, माइक्रो फाइनेंस की कई चीज़ों पे आती हैं। कई दफ़ा बहुत बड़े फंडिंग्स आती हैं कि जी इतने मिलियन आपको मिल जाएंगे, आप आ जाएं साथ, बट वो ये कहते हैं कि नहीं जी यही आता है हमको, बस इसको करे जा रहे हैं।
No, it's not. I'm not asking to make it a separate school for the disabled. It's just a bringing any individual with a physically disabled.
We have children. We have a lot of children who have physical disabilities. Yes, we have.
That's fine.
Sir.
Hi. Thanks. No, I won't need the mic. My question was basically the quality of education you touched upon.
Right.
But I think we don't want to be supporting something which is doing a radicalized children.
Right.
Because a lot of problems we've been hearing over the years about the material what was being taught. So I think there was a huge issue.
Right.
What so they kind of de-radicalize and so I think what has been done, you have to be compliant with the curriculum has to be compliant with the
national curriculum. Yes,
national curriculum was fundamentally changed to bring it very theological.
जी जो अभी 2006 का नेशनल करिकुलम बना है, it is comparable to any other international curriculum as well. And as a matter of fact, जब मैं social studies का बात कर रहा था, national curriculum में social excellence का नहीं है ऐसा जिक्र, but we have added social excellence as well. How to learn to coexist. वो एक बहुत important चीज़ which is probably was lacking in most of the books. तो वो हम लोगों ने deliberately add भी किया है उसको.
You haven't answered my question. My question was that if this curriculum was compliant with the government one, which was in certain areas was seen as kind of was frowned upon because it was very radicalized in many ways. So what would be the difference?
It is not radicalized at all.
Right. This was getting in the news.
नहीं, absolutely not. हमारा जो national curriculum है, curriculum को मैं ये कहूँगा कि curriculum basically is about goals. और जो books आप use करते हैं वो means to that goals होता है वो. So national curriculum आपका define कर दिया जाता है कि जी grade 1 में बच्चे को गिनती आनी चाहिए, grade 2 में वो fluency के साथ read करना चाहिए, grade 3 में उसको चट्टान के बारे में या समंदर के बारे में बताना चाहिए. तो वो सारी चीज़ें नेशनल करिकुलम में, और नेशनल करिकुलम में कोई रेडिकलाइजेशन नहीं है हमारे. It's very clean, very good, and as I said earlier कि it can be compared to any international curriculum.
Tolerant.
Absolutely tolerance है. और tolerance को हमने जो है वो मैंने कहा कि हमने खास तौर पर अपनी बुक्स के अंदर काफ़ी उससे डिफरेंट नेशनैलिटीज़ के इंट्रोडक्शन से डिफरेंट कल्चर्स के बारे में, कोएग्जिस्टेंस के बारे में सारा बहुत फोकस्ड उस पे. And Shazia is sitting next to you. If she doesn't have those books, we would be more than happy to share them and show it to you, because to be honest, we are very proud of making those books. And there are, as I mentioned, 20 schools के साथ हमने pilot किया है. 38 schools have already bought those books from us. जो उनको लगा कि quality की हैं, and price wise they are very low.
Just last brief question: has anything been done in Swat region? Because we hear all the stories around Swat region. Is there a TCF, because we could be be of some assistance there?
Swat में exactly मेरे ख्याल से शायद I don't think we have a school in
Because the need is more specialized there for a very.
We have one school in Fata though, but I don't think we have. But we have. Pardon?
I was just asking if they have writers.
Proper writers to write these books.
Proper
Writers.
writers. Yes, we have proper. We have educationists who work because we have education department who is only working towards it. That is their specialized field. They are specialists who work towards developing academic material. And Swat sir, in a Nikhal ke abhi hai, we have a school, but
It would be a very difficult thing to have as.
Even in Balochistan mein aur Fata ke usme, there are areas we are working in a lot of difficult areas already. But the thing is that we work in clusters. हम पोलका डॉट अगर स्कूल कहीं पे कर लेते हैं जहाँ पे cluster doesn't exist, so it is very difficult to service those schools. The right kind of support which the school requires is then it's difficult to offer them.
It's an amazing effort what you're doing there.
Thank you very much.
आपका मीडियम कौन सा है ज़बान का?
हमारा ज़बान जो है उर्दू मीडियम पढ़ाया जाता है और अंग्रेजी जो है एज अ सब्जेक्ट उसमें.
अरबी भी पढ़ाई जाती है, फारसी भी पढ़ाई जाती है, लोकल ज़बान.
जिस रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस जैसे सिंध में सिंधी पढ़ाई जाती है, लेकिन अरबी फारसी नहीं. अभी
तो आप अरबी में हैं, उसको तलीम को मुसलमान मुल्क हैं आप.
ठीक इस्लामियात नहीं, इस्लामियात है उसमें सब्जेक्ट और उसमें कुरान की तालीम जो है वो साथ दी जाती है और वो पूरा सिखाया जाता है उसी हिसाब से कैरिकुलम में. जो मैंने वही बात की कि जो नेशनली हमें गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से नेशनल कैरिकुलम है, we exactly follow that. हम उसे डेविएट नहीं करते हुए.
आपने गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स का भी मेंशन किया था.
जी.
गवर्नमेंट ऑफ खैबर पख्तूनख्वा प्रोविंस है, यूनिवर्सिटी में तमीर स्कूल प्रोग्राम उन्होंने शुरू किया है, एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन फाउंडेशन बना के. उसमें वो जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल हैं केपी के, उसकी जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है और उनको इम्प्रूव करने के लिए फंडिंग और ये सारा कुछ दे आर लुकिंग फॉर. तो आपने उनके साथ राब्ता किया या हैव यू स्पोकन टू देम?
जी, I have personally given presentation to the Chief Minister and the Minister of Education. We have submitted proposal, public-private partnership proposal to them. Just waiting for the response.
Okay.
We have submitted it to Sindh government as well. जिनके साथ भी किया. But again, we will.
तमीर स्कूल प्रोग्राम.
तमीर के उससे तो नहीं किया था because they're running different pilots. इसमें we had offered them कि आप हमें कुछ schools दें जिनको हम adopt करेंगे. Ideally, you just give us children and the building. Don't give us teachers or anyone. But again, it's a bit political. It's difficult to again.
नहीं उधर इतना no, it's not as political. वहाँ पे जो infrastructure है वो ही नहीं है schools का.
हाँ, वो भी नहीं. मैं उस पे है कि even वहाँ पे भी even firing तो बहुत दूर की बात है. Even transferring teachers even in KPK is not an easy thing within the same city. And मैं बहुत reliable से बता रहा हूँ क्योंकि बहुत मुश्किल हो जाती है even transfer within same city को निकालना तो बहुत मुश्किल बात होती है. Even if the teacher is not performing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aswatya. Right, I think that brings us to the end of our program as far as the Citizens Foundation is concerned. However, like I said previously, Sham abhi baki hai. इससे पहले कि हम सुर संगीत की तरफ जाएं, we also have sitting amongst us the chair of Pakistan, Overseas Pakistan Awards, Mr. Omar Malik, and his team is with him, which is a new organization that's doing some good work, I think. They're launching themselves on the 10th of October, and they're holding an event, and they formed a trust by the name of Overseas Pakistan Trust. And the sole objective of that trust is to promote the softer image of Pakistan. जो कि अभी हो रहा है, this is the softer image of Pakistan. This is the image building of Pakistan that we need to promote people who are doing such wonderful things. May I just ask Mr. Rana Mahmood of Overseas Pakistan Trust to come and just say a few words about his organization and what they're doing. And after that, we will go straight into music. We have Nish, who is over here to sing for us, and we also have another singer, I believe he's here somewhere. So pehle, big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for Rana Mahmood.
वो कहते हैं कि हुक्म हाकम मर गए मुफाजात। ओवरसीज पाकिस्तान अवार्ड्स की मेंबर आशा खुद भी हैं। ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं लूँगा चूँकि मुझसे पहले खूबसूरत प्रेजेंटेशंस हो चुकी। इनके ऑनर में लेकिन उससे पहले मैं वो शेयर रिपीट करना चाहता हूँ जो अहमद फराज ने कहा और स्फंदियार साहब ने उसको यहाँ पर पेश किया था। वो लोग जो कभी शिकवा करने का सोचते हैं, अगर वो इसी चीज़ को जहन में रख लेते जो फराज ने कहा, शिकवा ज़ुल्मत शब से तो कहीं बेहतर था, अपने हिस्से की शमा चलाते जाते। लेकिन जो लोग अमती हैं, डॉक्टर नईम हैं, असफंदियार हैं, शाजियाँ हैं, नताशा हैं, इन लोगों के लिए शायद एक शायर ने बड़ी खूबसूरत बात कही थी। अब दीजिए अगर आपकी मैं तवज्जो चाहूँ मिसेस नईम, इफ आई मे आस्क यू थोड़ी सी तवज्जो। एक शायर ने बहुत खूबसूरत इन लोगों के लिए कहा और उसी पर इत्तेफा करके और एक अनाउंस करके फिर आपसे इजाज़त चाहूँगा। वो ये, हम तो चरागे अव्वल शब हैं, अव्वल शब बुझाएंगे हम। ये इन लोगों के लिए, असफंदियार के लिए, अमती जी के लिए, डॉक्टर नईम के लिए। हम तो चरागे अव्वल शब हैं, अव्वल शब बुझाएंगे हम। तुम ही यारो आखिर तक दीप से दीप जलाते रहना। थोड़ी सी एप्रिसिएशन, इतनी दूर से ये लोग आएंगे। कुरान करीम में अल्लाह ताला फरमाता है फस्तबिकुल खैरात, नेकियों में एक दूसरे से सबकत ले जाओ। वो नेकी खा तालीम की हो, वो नेकी खा ओवरसीज पाकिस्तान अवार्ड्स की शक्ल में हो, जो उमर मलिक जैसे लोग ऐसे लोगों को अवार्ड करने जा रहे हैं 10 अक्टूबर को, जो इसकी लॉन्च होगी, जो स्फंदियार जैसे लोग हैं, या वो लोग हैं जो किसी भी डिपार्टमेंट में अच्छा काम करते हैं। रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया, एक जगह पर गए, तशरीफ ले गए, असातिज़ा की महफिल थी, आबिदों की महफिल थी, पढ़े लिखों की महफिल थी, कुछ इबादत गुजारों की महफिल थी। हजूर ने दोनों महफिल की तारीफ फरमाई और फिर फरमाया वइस तो मुअल्लिमन, कि मुझे भी उस्ताद बनाकर भेजा गया है। कायद आज़म जो मेरा हीरो है, उसकी एक बात पर अपनी गुजारिशात को खत्म करूंगा। कायद ने कहा कि नॉलेज इज सॉर्ड, इल्म जो है वो तलवार है। सो इल्म फैलाने वाले लोग जो हैं वो यकीनन शमे महफिल हैं। So a big hand for such people. Thank you very much.
Such lovely words. आज ही नहीं, राना महमूद को मैं काफ़ी अरसे से जानती हूँ। जब बोलते हैं तो खूबसूरत बोलते हैं, ऐसा बोलते हैं कि दिल चाहता है इनको सुनते रहो। राना, thank you very much for your words. I believe there is a lady by the name of Nish. Is Nish here? She's supposed to be singing for us.